Welcome to the Africa Diaspora News Channel, fam. My name is Lynient Akotonou making this report. So today we'll be exploring the incident that happened before Anthony Joshua's accident. Well, family, I'm sure we heard of the accident he was involved in on the 29th of December 2025. That's a few days to the end of 2025. He was involved in a fatal accident that claimed the lives of two of his people. He got to hear of things that happened before the accident. Well, the accident took place along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway in Nigeria, and his Lexus SUV was damaged beyond repair. Now, as recorded, according to reports, his driver was driving on high speed. And while the driver was on high speed trying to overtake a vehicle, the tire of the passenger seat exploded. And then it collided into a stationary lorry parked illegally by the side of the road. Now, that was how this happened. The driver was trying to overtake another vehicle, but life happened. The tire exploded and they collided with a stationary vehicle along the road. Now, we heard cases of many people coming out to say that there were no ambulances on site. They had to come out to treat the world champion in a very, very detestable way. They could not administer first aid. The Nigeria did not have a lot, family, a lot. But we would say, he was flown out of Nigeria, and the president of Nigeria, Tinubu, did speak to him and address the nation that he was receiving the best treatment there is outside the country. But it's kind of sad that we as Nigerians couldn't provide the first aid and first treatment needed. But that's by the way. Now, before the accident occurred, it was recorded that where he was seated was swapped. That means Anthony Joshua did change his seat. Well, according to information, family, before the accident, Anthony Joshua did swap his seat. Where his friend sat, that's the people he went with sat, he would have been there, right? But he swapped his seat. Would I say a divine arrangement? Because we do not pray for the bad of others, but in this situation, divinely, he swapped his seats and he was saved. If he had sat down there, we would have heard something different today. But the driver that drove Anthony Joshua and his friends was charged to court. And the reason why, let's check it out. Adeni Mobolaji Kayode, 46, was charged at the Shagamu Magistrate Court on Friday last week. Police told sources, that's BBC, that the charges include causing death by dangerous driving. So Joshua's personal trainer, that's Lateef Ayodele, and strength coach Shina Gami died on Monday after the vehicle they were traveling in crashed into a stationary truck on a highway in Ogun State near Lagos. The former heavyweight champion was taken to the hospital and he did sustain minor injuries, but we saw from recent videos that he is doing well and he paid his respects to his friends. Let's watch the video.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما.
Family, the funny thing is, the driver that drove Anthony Joshua and his friends had no driver's license. Let's check this out. Now, the prosecutors brought out 4 charges against Mr. Kayode. Number 1, causing death by dangerous driving. 2, reckless and negligent driving. 3, driving without due care. And 4, driving without a valid driver's license. We've said this countless times in Nigeria. There was a time where it was bad news upon bad news about trailers unaliving people in Nigeria. And we discovered that those individuals driving these trailers were young boys with no driver's license, old men with no driver's license. And they kept driving these vehicles, these trucks, without driver's license. Now, it comes down to a heavyweight champion, a celebrity. How did they give him someone that had no driver's license in the first place? How did they come in contact with this Mr. Kayode? Why did he drive him without a valid driver's license? It doesn't make sense. I know we would say that Nigeria happened and but is that not error on the part of those who arranged these drivers for Anthony Joshua? Why would they give him someone with no valid driver? Family, it's a lot, right? So we got to find out that he miraculously swapped his seats, and that this man that drove him and his friends has no valid driver's license. Well, I for one feel, yeah, he has been charged to court, right? Yes, but the person that recommended this driver should also be taken for it, because why will you bring someone that has no driver? Why? For what reason? What do you have to say about this story, family? And the idea that Africa is a bad place, because some people already termed it African thing. That's how Africa is. No. That's not how Africa is. Do not conclude on Africa because of this. We know it's an unfortunate incident that happened to Anthony Joshua. We do not wish it to happen to anybody, but this is not how Africa is. Let's stop that narrative. Bad things happen, we know. But then we know that in situations like this, we humans have a fault in it. Because why would they recommend a driver without license? Well, what do you have to say about the story, family? Comment your thoughts and do not forget to share, like, subscribe, and turn on your notification button. My name is Lynient Akotonou.